Okay, House Democrats barreling towards a potential Christmas time impeachment vote as legal scholar Jonathan Turley asks, why the rush?
This impeachment would rival the Johnson impeachment as the shortest in history.
All right, let's turn to Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and senior legal advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign, Jenna Ellis. Great to have you both, ladies.
Great to see you, Shannon.
Okay, so I want to play something else from House Intelligence Chair Adam Schiff. This is what he said yesterday when they rolled out their 300-page report on why the president, or I will say, he says he's reserving his judgment, but what they've gathered so far in impeachment. Here's what he said yesterday.
We do not intend to delay when the integrity of the next election is still at risk.
They're saying we can't allow this to continue because the president could be plotting and doing similar things, inviting foreign adversaries and others to get involved in our 2020 election. It's just around the corner. So timing is now. It's got to happen.
Yeah, so Adam Schiff is concerned that President Trump is just going to still continue to do his job. I mean, there is nothing whatsoever that they have, quote unquote, uncovered in this impeachment inquiry that is remotely a legal or constitutional basis for impeachment. And I thought that Representative Matt Gaetz put it so perfectly when he asked those 4 constitutional law professors today, do any of you have personal knowledge of any material fact? None of them, of course, could. And so for the Democrats to have to put on this impeachment circus, continuing to then have these 4 professors come up and testify to what? Just to try to back in to justify this impeachment sham? This is ridiculous. And for Nancy Pelosi to say basically almost like, you know, the villain in the movie that has their huddled masses saying, we've got to get together and impeach now or forever hold your peace. Of course they're taking a whip count. Of course they are adhering to the economic principle of sunk costs. They have invested so much in trying to take down President Trump since even before he was inaugurated. They are going to continue to invest and invest because they will not pull out when they know that they absolutely can't win. This is not going to bode well for them in 2020.
Okay, let me bring you in with this from Byron York. He says, why is it so urgent that Trump, who's been in office for nearly 3 years and will stand for re-election in 11 months, why is it so urgent that he be impeached and removed at this very moment? The reasons probably have more to do with Democratic political priorities than with anything Trump has done or will do. I mean, Leslie, do you worry that the appearance is there that Democrats are doing this for wholly political reasons?
You know what, Shannon, no. I mean, in the beginning, I would even say, oh, maybe you're right. But the reality is, if you look at the numbers, there's been less enthusiasm and less support the longer this impeachment process and inquiry hearings have been drawn out. And because of that, that can actually hurt Democrats politically. So if they're doing this for political gain, no, absolutely not. And I think the timing is essential. One of the reasons the timing is essential is I believe, and I've predicted, and I still maintain, that the House will bring forth articles of impeachment. That the House will vote to impeach and that the Senate will acquit him, just like we saw with Bill Clinton back in the early 90s. And what we have here timing-wise, Shannon, that's a big problem, is you have half of the Democratic candidates for president are senators and need to be there. They can't skip this. This is a trial, and they have to be there. So the timing is definitely an issue when it comes to the election and the Democratic nominees.
Yeah, several of them are running. You've got Iowa and New Hampshire to think about in February. And, Jenna, that's something that Congressman Swalwell, obviously Democrat, brought up as well. He's like, listen, there's an urgency to this because we are up against those calendars. These senators are involved, and we got to get it done.
Yeah, and I think that shows that the Democrats know that they can't beat President Trump at the ballot box, and so they don't really care that they're taking away time from any of their supposedly top candidates from being out on the campaign trail. They don't really care about that. They are fully focused only on this impeachment circus because this is a political theater that is just geared toward 2020. They are hoping to pull the wool over the American people's eyes, which they are not being successful at doing. I mean, impeachment, of course, is not popular. It's not playing well in the polls, not playing well in their focus groups, but they are hoping that they will convince you and me, the American voters, not to vote for President Trump. That's not going to happen, but they are putting all of their eggs in that basket.
Okay, and quickly I want to ask you, Leslie, there are 2 important hearings coming up January 3rd, 2 court cases, one involving pushing Don McGahn on the subpoena issue, whether he should have to show up, former White House counsel, and also the grand jury materials, whether they should be released in any form or fashion from the Mueller investigation. So Andy McCarthy, with that in mind, writes this. He says, are House Democrats in such a hurry to impeach the president before the 2020 election year begins that they won't wait for decisions about access to impeachment evidence that they told the courts they needed? Leslie, final word to you.
Shannon, look, the Republicans were saying, put this out in the open, okay? Put it out to the public, and they did it fast, and we saw that again today. Secondly, they've also said, and the president has said, put it to a vote, So it's interesting because Republicans, even the president, his administration, they want this to be fast, and then when the Democrats are trying to deliver it fast.
They wanted to vote on starting it officially. They wanted to vote for an official start.
Exactly.
Absolutely. But if they're going to do that, then now people are saying, well, wait, what's the hurry? And I think what they've done, timing wise, is exactly what they should have done. There was an investigation. It was private. Nobody liked that. Then it was public, and still nobody likes that. And then the findings come out. And they're going to make their recommendations, and they're going to bring forth those articles. They're going to vote, and they're going to do it quickly. Yeah. Speaker Pelosi has said that, and she doesn't want to do this to help with an election, Jenna, not at all, because she says it. She's always said it's divisive to the country.
Well,
so
if she was going to fulfill her oath to the American people, then she should have this bipartisan, not partisan, with only Democrat support.
Okay, we'll see, and we'll see if it's by Christmas. Leslie and Jenna, thank you both very much.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.